season at the Texas Motor Speedway for the site of tonight's race. And this is going to be interesting because we come into this one now 248 points behind Tony Stewart, almost a race and a half behind him with just 7 races to go. This isn't going to be easy, and of the remaining 7 races, we've raced at 4 of the 7 racetracks already, and we didn't win any of those 4 races. So we've not won at any of the races that we have left this season. Tony Stewart has. In fact, Tony Stewart won the last race at Texas. Now, that race was a 50% race. It wasn't a full race, but he did win. We did finish 3rd in that one. Qualified 12th, not promising. I didn't practice. I messed my second qualifying lap up. I definitely think I would have been faster on lap 2 than lap 1 just with the speed overall. That seems to be the case more often than not, but I clipped the apron getting into turn 1 and my car just about spun out on me. I did hit the wall. So definitely don't want to hit the apron at Texas. It will cause incidences. Can we survive for 300 miles, 200 laps in this race? We'll have to just wait and see. Let's get this thing going. Let's not waste any more time. Well, the good news is Tony Stewart didn't qualify on the pole either. We'll go into detail about last night's race a little bit more as we get into this one. But first, the green flag is in the air. A pretty good initial start here for Jimmie Johnson. Got down to the bottom and... all right, I spoke too soon. I spoke way too soon. I was clear on the bottom, and then I tried to cover the top, and I should have just stayed on the bottom. Lost 1 spot on the initial start. It looked like I was going to gain 1. Ended up losing 1. Got the spot back on the next lap. And Kyle Busch leads. Busch won at Talladega last night. That's at least what we're going to state, because he did close on us in points quite a bit. Everything that ended up happening at the end of that, which again we'll go over if you missed last night's stream when we get a little further on into this one. But trying to get this start out of the way first. I do think the long run speed is definitely going to be here for the 48. League was rained out tonight. Well, that's a bummer. At least you're here. Flatlined the corner entry into 3, but it worked. Definitely don't want to touch that white line as much as we can help it. Flat entry again into turn 1. Texas Motor Speedway is just tight. I'm doing what I can to not hit the corners. I'm really just letting the car go up the hill, catch it in the center, and then go from there when I'm trying to make passes, just hoping that I clear a car underneath me. I'm obviously not going to drive it in that deep if I'm knowing that I'm more than likely not going to be able to clear a car. In that case, it's probably smarter to just back out, let him go, and try again another corner, another lap. We definitely have speed tonight. Vladimir Tarasenko, that's an interesting one. I did not see that. It's a big name. Veteran. Thought about taking a 3 wide. There was just no room to do that underneath both Ryan Newman and Martin Truex Jr. that last time. Tony Stewart driven his way to 3rd after starting 6th. Maybe even 2nd place. Ryan Newman with a big block. Up the racetrack he goes in. He might have gotten a piece of the wall. Makes for an easy pass for Jimmie Johnson. Johnson to the inside of Kurt Busch for position. Going to get by both 39 cars in the span of a lap. Really hoping Stewart does not pass Kyle Busch for the lead up there. Looks like Stewart may actually be in danger of losing 2nd place again. Yeah, he's definitely a goal scorer. Had some great years with the Blues. Earlier in his career. Is that where he was still playing recently? Johnson getting by Truex for 6. Stewart may be in danger of going back another spot. Stewart with a block as he falls back to 5th. Jimmy Johnson's going to try to put him back another spot. Kyle Busch has lost the lead now to Mark Martin. 6 car is leading the way. Johnson under Stewart. Stewart not giving him a lot of room. 3 wide now. 3 wide and tight. Oh, contact! Stewart and Busch got together. 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Stewart and Busch get together. Johnson cleared them both. Clean pass. Now we really don't have to worry about Tony Stewart leading any laps for the meantime. He lost so much ground. Trading side with Florida. Yeah, I just, my early years of playing NHL. Remember him being there. Caution. First time today, I think we were in 4th. I don't think we quite got the 3rd when the yellow came out. First yellow didn't take long. Greg, oh my gosh, massive crash for Greg Biffle and Hans Good. 2 cars going up and over at Texas. Right on turn 4, he got loose, pounds the wall. Hans Good hits him, he goes up and over. What a wild start here at Texas Motor Speedway. We're going to stay out.
Watch those cars behind you.
Wow, they pitted.
And they are going to be fast.
I'm surprised everybody pitted there. It's going to give Jimmy Johnson the lead. Lap 16, green flag back in the air. I mean, we're only going to have about a dozen lap older tires. I'm okay with it. Easiest way to get to the lead. I am surprised they pit, though. Martin looking to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. Johnson going to squeeze him big time into the corner. Jimmy trying to hold the 6 tight. Martin gets back to the lead on the restart. Using those slightly fresher tires to his advantage, but at least Johnson led under the caution to get 5 bonus points that way. From Westfall, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody that's watching tonight, by the way. Dan Bowers, Wade Zielinski, Billy Kramer as well. Kind of a short notice NASCAR 07 stream tonight. It's going to be tough to get around him. I know 12 lap old tires isn't going to make too much of a difference, but I think it'll make enough that it's going to be quite difficult to get by Mark Martin. Martin's had a really fast car in the 1.5 miles. So I think all 3 of his wins this season have come on 1.5 mile racetracks. Berlin Raceway. What about Berlin Raceway? Oh, Greg Biffle, broken leg. Is that what it was from? A crash? That's tough. I didn't know about this. Broken legs and ribs. Oh, you were talking... Never mind. I see what you're saying now. I saw the Berlin Raceway comment in the chat, and then I saw the Greg Biffle thing. And I thought I was correlating that together. I didn't realize that it was from the crash he just had. Alright, I'm going to forget I was even talking there for a second. Forget I was even saying anything. Middle to upper groove here. Got a little loose off turn 4. Stayed in the gas. Stays in front of Johnson. Two-car breakaway from the field right now. I'll let him use these fresh tires in the clean air and running some clean, fast laps behind him. I mean, I was still able to leapfrog a couple positions, and it definitely helped us break away from the pack. I've definitely learned from the last 2 nights to be more patient in this race. You know, 2 DNFs back-to-back this late in the season have really hurt us. Granted, last night wasn't really our fault, but California was. How do I feel about it? I mean, I've already kind of expressed it, I guess. I mean, I like it. And anytime you can get a goal scorer like that, it's pretty good, but I wish they would have maybe spent more money on trying to, you know, get a high caliber goalie, but I mean, at least they're getting somebody. They're trying. Guess that's the least I can ask for as a fan. As a fan of watching the majority of the 25-year playoff streak, and then also as a fan watching them the last several years and being nothing like that. Got to start somewhere. I think that really all started when they got Patrick Kane at the trade deadline last year. I think that was pretty much about where that kind of started, and I think that's what led them to going out and getting Tarasenko, or a player like him, searching for him at least. Jimmy Johnson just riding in line behind Mark Martin. Just trying to stay out of trouble. Slightly different pit strategy. I'm surprised they did all pit only 12 laps into the race. Definitely wouldn't have been expecting that. Run for Johnson, just going to let Martin go, getting into turn 3. Even shared draft with Mark Martin a little bit. We're going to sit behind him, might as well make him an ally. Kind of okay just even running the middle to upper groove behind him, because I know how treacherous that apron is based off of qualifying. So the only reason I didn't qualify in the top 10. Honestly, didn't waste much time getting up through the field, though. So,
Don't worry about it, man.
like I said, it all kind of worked itself out. The wall scrape off turn 4. Definitely gonna have a lot of snipers on that team next year. I think having Kane for a full season is gonna be You said it was a 2-year deal with Tarasenko, so that's also good. Never really liked those 1-year deals. I feel like it takes about a half a season to really get accustomed to a new team, no matter who you are. Ooh, Martin scrapes the wall. Off the exit of turn 2. Johnson did that same thing off turn 4 just a couple laps before. So halfway out of gas, lap 30. I'm just gonna say Kyle Busch. He was leading a lot of laps. Granted, that was before he clobbered Tony Stewart, but he was still in the race at that point. So second win of the year for Busch. Still sitting at 7 different winners. Special somewhere else like Peter Mrazek did with Toronto. That kind of ticked me off as a Red Wings fan. It's just like they gave him, honestly, they probably gave him more time than what they should have. They probably gave him an extra season when I felt they should have cut him loose before that. And then he goes on with Toronto and he's like a perennial all-star. It's like, how does this happen? I mean, he gave the guy enough chances in Detroit. Really able to conserve my tires quite a bit in the run by not pushing 100% with staying right behind Mark Martin too. Not that I'm backing off a ton. Enough in the sense that I'm not just going up here trying to pass him every corner.
The 6 car, come on. Clear on either side.
Ripping the throttle a little on the backstretch, making sure we stay behind him again. And I'm being as smart as I can. I mean, he makes a big mistake. Oh. He makes a big mistake. We're obviously going to be right there. I wonder how many more years it's going to be before they retire. I feel like Mickey would end up retiring before Ken. I mean, it'd be great, you know, ceremonial, they retire together, but I feel... I mean, you can just watch a broadcast even to this day, though, you can see they still have a huge enthusiasm for it. Usually when commentators get up there in age, I feel like they lose that a little bit. Just doing it so long. And it is hard to, you know, when you've seen almost everything imaginable happen over times when you're calling sports, it is probably hard to get over enthusiastic when something, you know, crazy happens. But yeah, they still do a great job with it. Chemistry is unlike any other, too. Both the right front and the right rear tire going into the yellow and the tire wear indicator at the same time there. Martin almost got a piece of the wall again. It was close. I don't know how he's able to hold the car as high off the exit of the corner as he is. I definitely can't go as high as he can. Now, some of that could be just me being in dirty air. So I know my car's not going to turn that well. Oh boy. Gotta be careful. It's the first time I've clipped the apron in the race, but luckily nothing happened there. Made it about a quarter of the way home. Just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. Just ran our fastest lap, 29.595 that last time by. A couple tenths quicker than in qualifying. Granted, again, I qualified 12. It wasn't like I qualified on the pole or anything. .530, 2 laps in a row now, running the quickest lap of the race. Still got a decent ways to lap traffic. If you're just tuning in for the first time in tonight's stream, we have led under caution, but we haven't led any green flag laps, just kind of biding our time here right behind Mark Martin. We've had one caution. It was at about lap 12. And so everybody out on the racetrack right now has about 12 lap fresher tires than us. So it's definitely not making it an easy pass on Mark Martin whatsoever, even on the slightly older tires. I should say because of the slightly older tires. I'm really just trying to be patient, being very early. I know I want to go out and try to lead as many laps as I can, but Tony Stewart's nowhere to be found right now. Hopefully it stays that way. He started 6th. We started 12th. So about a quarter of a tank of gas left this point in the run for us. But again, we have not pitted yet. So they're going to be able to go about a dozen laps longer than us in the wave and the cycling of green flag pit stops. Oh, wow, I had to lift big time there. I got really tight in the center of 3 and 4. Actually got on the brakes a little bit. I thought I was going to eat the wall. Came up so quickly. Now I know how Greg Biffle had his problems, which led to that early caution. They haven't seen a debris yellow, though, despite the very hard hit both he and Hans Good took in that crash. 2-car incident. Both cars flipped. A wild wreck. Texas Motor Speedway, to say the least. And you can see the lap traffic not that far up in front of the leaders. Loose that time off turn 4. Wheeling that thing. First lap car of the day. Oh, Martin tagged the lapper and Johnson just ran into the back of him. There's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Martin hit the lap car. They both got up into the wall, and then Jimmy Johnson got into the back of Martin a little extra there. Johnson's in the lead. I don't think it was a significant impact. I was not expecting that. There was just nowhere for me to go. I mean, we were just right there. This car's getting very loose the longer this run goes. Right back to the inside of Johnson. Oh, he tagged me. He tagged me. I was still trying to catch it all the way down the backstretch. Hit a terrible corner. Can't get out of my own way now. Gonna run this out just a little bit longer. Two more lap cars coming up. Hopefully Mark Martin gets by him cleanly this time. I want a repeat of what happened there just a little bit ago. Avoided a major situation once. Don't want to have to avoid something major a second time. Oh my gosh, now, well, is that Paul Menard that got up against the wall? No caution. We do stay green. Well, at least Martin kept it off of him that time, and same for Johnson. I'm gonna pit at lap 68. Figured 65 laps and then the caution to save 3, so 65 green flag laps in the run. Again, they're going to be pitting not too long after me. Stay out this time by, we'll pit the following time. This lap car better not hit me. I couldn't tell if that was me or him. I think it was a little bit of both. Maybe more on me. That's as bad as it was going to get. I'm alright with it. We're going to pit this time. Hey, Johnson's coming in. Don't speed. 70-mile-per-hour pit road speed at every track in the game. So here we go, 4 tires, full tank of gas, no adjustments. I like the handling of the car. No, I didn't see the schedule. And even if I looked at it now, I wouldn't remember it until the season starts back up again anyway. Maybe more of it after NASCAR season. Alright, so the only thing bad that could happen here is we get a caution right in the middle of this green flag pit stop sequence and we get trapped a lap down. And again, they're going to end up pitting about a 12-lap stint or so after us, just because we did not pit during that first caution at lap 12, and they did. We restarted at lap 15. But by short pitting, you would like to think we should be able to leapfrog Mark Martin, which is another reason why I was just kind of waiting behind him anyway. So I wasn't going to drive away from him on slightly older tires. But if anything, we can make up some time on fresh tires. There's a clean pit stop by the pit crew, too. So they'll be pitting around lap 80. So we pit on lap 68. And have some go a little before, a little after. Don't clip that apron. Aggressive line there. Let's just talk about how we don't need a caution.
The 123 car.
This guy's not going to make our life easy. Don't hit me. I don't think he's going to, but I'm going way down low anyway. But no part of him. I need clean laps. That pass was for position, too. It's a lap down already. It might have been the lap car Mark Martin got into, that very first one we caught. Alright, we've got cars pitting now. Really only pitted a few laps before him. Penguins in the home opener. I was like playing when we played Pittsburgh, because I have an aunt that lives in Pittsburgh and she always brags about like all Pittsburgh sports teams, whether they're actual rivals with your teams or not. All those years of hearing how Ben Roethlisberger was the greatest quarterback that ever lived.
Number 18, down low, down low.
Right after Terry Bradshaw, of course.
Clear on both sides. Pit road's getting busy. Leaders ahead, man.
That, it always reminds me of those Stanley Cup years when Pittsburgh and Detroit went back-to-back against each other.
Come on now. Careful out there.
The late 2000s.
Go outside.
Kind of squeezed into there. The hole was open.
That away.
Made it work. Mark Martin's pit already.
Number 11.
Oh, man.
High side. Down low, down low.
That was a flat corner entry. I was really trying to clear Paul Menard. Cleared him, but he got back underneath me.
Still there. Leaders up hitting. Still beside you.
There we go. Now we're clear again.
There you go. All clear.
Busch is on his way to pit road. So is Brian Vickers. Yeah, I mean, I would like to think we cycled out ahead of Mark Martin. You think pitting as much before him as we did, if that would have been the case.
Stay patient. You're about 3 seconds behind the leader. Number 137 is outside.
Yeah, I mean, some of the earliest memories of me being a Red Wings, fan and getting into hockey was those 2007, 2008 Stanley Cup final matchups. I think the first NHL game I had was NHL 09 too. It was a couple years after that, but it might have been 08. Whatever year. I want to say Jonathan Toews was on the cover.
The 41 car.
There's a Blackhawks player. It's either Toews or Kane. I think they've both been on the cover before. Whatever the earlier one of those two was. It was 0 something. Way up the track goes Ron Hornaday, makes for an easy pass there for Jimmy Johnson. Mark Martin is still leading, by the way. So somehow during green flag pit stops, Johnson still lost time to Mark Martin. About a second off the lead as Jimmy tries to get it back. And at least we have 5 bonus points already because we led under caution earlier. So there is that. Definitely settling through a long green flag run as we've cycled through a wave of green flag pit stops. Now no lap cars between the top 2 anymore. Johnson's caught Mark Martin. I'll bump to him and probably going to hold on. I was actually going for it there. I messed the corner up pretty badly. I mean, the chances of leading the most laps at this point are slim to none. So, although that would have been a great objective coming in. Again, I just need to focus on winning the race. If we lead laps along the way, that would be bonus. If I knew I had that much more of a dominating car, I would just go up and pass him, but I don't think that's the case. There's still quite a bit of lap traffic up in front of us, too, yet. Big run. Middle of the corner here, 3 wide. Picked Mark Martin behind the lap car to get by him for the lead. Stellar job of being able to make the pass. Now they're side by side right in front of him. That was big for Jimmy Johnson. Defensive line on the back straightaway. Last time we were in this situation, he slightly got into my left rear, getting into a corner, and definitely shipped me up the racetrack. Kept it off the wall, but I got loose enough that he got around me in the next corner. I gotta plug my laptop in here. We got some low battery. Down to 8% there. There we go.
The 6 car is looking to make a move on you. Watch the outside.
Yeah, now that I'm out ahead of Mark Martin, I would like to stay here, but if he gets underneath me, I'll let him go, but which might happen with the lap car getting under me. Clint Boyer's going to hold me up here. That might be the way Mark Martin's going to get to the lead. Ah. Jeez. That didn't help either. Whoa, and then he gets loose in the next corner trying to pass Boyer, and we caught right back to his back bumper. With a big block. Up the track into Boyer! Up the hill they both go, and Johnson's back to the lead again. Martin overdrove the corner. Boyer in the way of both the 6 and the 48. More worried about trying to hold that defensive line on Johnson. Pressure off of Jimmy at least for a couple laps. pack of about 4 lap cars, not that far up in front of Johnson and Martin, the leaders. Jimmy will be the first to catch him. They're all running side by side. Johnson 3 wide. Flip the apron a little bit, still 3 wide out of the rear view there as Martin tries to make the passes as well. Following behind the 48. Oh, they are making contact back there and near crash into turn 1. That was around all those lap cars at the 48 and the 6 just passed. You see all the smoke from the aftermath of all that as well.
The 6 car is looking to make a move on you. Lap 100, keep going.
I think we'd be getting air loose if it was much deeper in the run than what it is right now. Because he was tucked all over my back bumper all the way through 3 and 4. No matter which one of us gets to the lead, just can't pull away. And there goes Mark again, back to the inside. Not quite clear yet. He's getting there. Yeah, right back to where we were again. Which is Johnson trailing Martin. Halfway through the fuel run. Beast Mode Vader, thanks for tuning in. Lost a little time getting off turn 4 there. Easy Network, thanks for tuning in also. Stay there until the end and get him later, yeah. I think that's what we got to do now. I mean, it was fine when I was in the lead. He made a mistake on multiple occasions, which, well, really on one occasion, then we picked him behind a lap car and another to get by him. If I could pick him behind one of these lap cars up here again, I'll try to pass him that way, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try to do it. Smokey the Bear Stewart. That's good. I'm not sure. He started 6th. He has not led. Tony Stewart has not led any laps. More than likely, Mark Martin's going to end up leading the most laps. Kurt Busch, who was in the top 10 earlier, is about to go lap down. Our only caution was all the way back on lap 12. And haven't had one since. It's been almost a 100-lap green flag run. Lift in the middle of 1 and 2 to keep from getting into the back of the 6 car. Martin having a heck of a time trying to pass those guys.
Giving us some room.
A little contact driving it off into turn one.
Double time. Still on target.
Martin hanging on the right rear corner panel of Johnson.
Away. I like what I'm seeing out there. Been pretty good about giving us some room lately.
Oh boy, sliding up. Hang on to it, hang on to it.
Going down low. Clear on both sides.
Whoa! Yep. I saved it.
Keep an eye on it.
I at least saved it. Man. That was the first time I've done that all race. I did that in qualifying before the stream and did it right there. Just grab that, you touch it just slightly and it just grabs and pulls you. At least they saved it. And everybody's staying out of the pits, it looks like. Quite a few cars lapped down. That was an extraordinarily long green flag run.
Green flag. Inside, inside. Hold on. He's still there. Number 18 is making his move. Low side, low side. There you go. All clear. One to the inside.
Oh, Kenza just tagged Johnson off turn two. And that absolutely killed the momentum of this 48 car.
Number 42. Yellow.
Tagged me right in the left rear. If I didn't clip the car underneath me, I think I would have spun out more than likely.
Time to make our move. Leaders up on you by just over a second.
And I think everybody stayed out because they're trying to make it in the fuel window to pit just one more time.
Go outside.
We're going to have to make it to 65 laps to go before we pit if we're going to want a shot to make it on gas to the end.
Number 2 making his
I'd
move.
like to think we should be able to do. Should.
Number 20 is up on.
Martin really got away from us on that restart. His teammate Matt Kenseth got into us.
Still there.
Stalled us out a little bit. I think Stewart's up to third because I think he just passed Kenseth. We really got to keep him from leading any laps at all cost. So far we've been able to.
Checking the left rear tire. Go hard, go hard. Seconds up. Getting more room than usual here. Clear, all clear, whatever you need.
Looking for the 3 wide pass. Get by both lap cars at the same time, and Johnson's able to do that successfully.
Clear on either side.
So right back up to Mark Martin again. Definitely burnt the tires off of it quite a bit, having to make that save a while back. Two cautions, very widespread apart from one another. Quarter of a tank of gas left this point in the run. Still got 78 to go. Again, got to make it down to 65 laps left to get within the fuel window to make it to the end of the race from there. Just ran our fastest lap, 29.471 that last time. Definitely a smooth one for Johnson. Yeah, I doubt Harrison Burton's going to remain in the Cup Series. I mean, if he stays with Ford, maybe he goes to Haas in the Xfinity Series. I mean, maybe. Especially if Custer goes up to Cup. If they don't want to keep, any of the other guys they already have. Even if they keep Herbst down. Yeah, that's right. Front row does have an extra entry. I don't know. It'd be tough to go to a different Cup team and make something out of it, I feel like, for him, personally. Thought they're shutting down. They're keeping both Xfinity Series teams. SHR is shutting down, like, just the Stewart part of the Stewart Haas. Haas is still going to have 2 Xfinity teams next year and one full-time Cup team. Johnson and Martin back to getting away from this pack just a little bit yet again. I mean, if he remains in the Cup Series, that is probably where he'll end up going. Basically about the same equipment he was just in. He knew it was all going to go bad when his first career race with the Wood Brothers, he ended up on his lid. The 2022 Daytona 500. Didn't really get a whole lot better than that. The only thing that helped him the rest of the way is he stayed on all 4 tires the rest of his Cup time. Well, so far to this point, I guess the season's not done yet. Yeah, remember, he didn't win any truck races, but he did win 4 Xfinity races in one season, and then that's when he went to Cup that next year. One car slow on the back straightaway that has blown an engine. We'll wait to see who it is. Looked like Matt Kenseth in the 17, I think. So I believe Kenseth has blown an engine. 70 laps to go in the race this time by at the line. Right before the next wave of green flag pit stops, we'll take our first field pass of the race. And we will make the swap to Brian Vickers first.
You got it.
Vickers back in 10th.
One's up high.
There's smoke up ahead. Vickers taking it 3 wide underneath Bertie Lamar and Martin Truex Jr. Lamar a lap down, Truex is not.
Just the pace we're looking for.
Vickers is now up to 9th.
The 8 cars closing quickly.
It's the only Hendrick Motorsports car of the 3 that has not won yet this season.
7 seconds off the lead.
And we will swap to Kyle Busch at the start-finish line this time by.
Leaders are coming into pit.
And we've got some cars pitting this time. Johnson's on his way in. Ugh. It's a little early. A little early for my liking.
Roger that. We'll take
Oh, we got trouble, Busch.
That'll drop us down to the
Just hit the inside wall right when I swapped to him.
push our way to the front.
I don't know what happened there. Made the driver swap, and then all of a sudden, oh, Busch was up against the inside wall. Oh, now it just ran right in the back of.
Don't worry about it.
Who was that? Paul Menard that was pit? Oh, now we've got a caution. And I think Johnson just got trapped a lap down. Oh my goodness. Well, he clearly didn't save it. I think Jimmy Johnson just got trapped a lap down with that caution. I was hoping he'd make it onto pit road, and he came back across the racetrack into the grass, and the yellow came out. Our third caution of the day. I think Johnson just got trapped a lap down. Oh, the timing of that was terrible. Busch is going to pit. Not everybody hit pit road here, though. I feel like some don't feel they can make it. I mean, we're right at the edge of the pit window. Some can make it, some probably can't. But I do think Jimmy Johnson's a lap down. Now, granted, on the cars that didn't pit yet, he'll be able to get his lap back on them. Why'd you wait until after pit? Well, I thought I was going to have enough laps there. I didn't think they were going to pit me that early. We should have made it to lap 65 on our own. I don't know. Hindsight's 20/20. I mean,
We're starting in the back, so be careful.
I didn't cause a caution. It wouldn't have mattered, but caused a yellow drive in his Busch. We just pitted. Only 14 cars were on the lead lap when the caution flag came out. And all the cars on the lead lap stayed out. So that's good news for Jimmy Johnson. Again, every car in the lead lap stayed out of the pits.
Number 144 coming up quick on the left.
I'm staying wide in case anybody else pits this time. Yeah, we got quite a few of them pitting. Big run. There was a big checkup on that high side off turn 4.
Stay patient and run your race. You're looking real good right now. Clear all around. Going inside.
Busch on fresh tires trying to get going. Oh boy. Biffle and Burton making contact with each other, and Kyle Busch was 3 wide middle, splitting the seams, trying to miss everything.
Couple top 5 cars are on their way into the pit. Correct the top 10.
I think Johnson just pitted again.
All clear, bud.
Are you kidding me?
Watching the leader about
Jimmy Johnson just pitted again? Lord have mercy. I thought he was going to get his lap back. I don't know. He must have pitted an extra time. You dummy, you didn't have to do that. I think with the caution, he probably would have made it. even the 67 laps. Because we made it 68 with a caution earlier.
Clear, all clear. Outside, outside.
You guys are saying he's out. I'm going to wait for this to cycle through. I think he pitted again for some reason. Vickers is out of the pits. Still waiting on Johnson. Let's just pass Sadler for second. There might have been cars on pit road when the caution came out that are going to stay on the lead lap, I think, too. He's still down there, isn't he? You've got to be joking me right now. I did everything I could this race, and he blows an engine. If that's what happened. Oh my gosh. That's 3 DNFs in a row. I think he blew up. 3 DNFs in a row. And only one was my fault. California was my fault. Talladega was not mine. It was a game glitch. And then we have an engine failure. Busch to the lead. I'm going to see where Brian Vickers is at in all this. He's in 11th. 11th place, 1 lap down. Busch is slow. Well, Vickers is back on the lead lap now. Busch is still slow. Busch is dropping out too. I thought he had the red X. Maybe Johnson's still in the race and he's just got an X on him for some reason. I can't swap to him. I just tried. Unbelievable.
Going inside. Still on side. Borderline, he's still there. Hold your lane, keep this going. Still beside you. The 8 car wants to get by you. He got no tire. Car on.
Turned myself off of Dale Jr. I'm heartbroken. And now we get a caution. Caution's out again. I don't know where that came out. Vickers is back on the lead lap, though, and so is everybody else that got by Busch on the restart. Debris, it looks like, off somebody in the middle of the pack, so this will be our 4th caution of the race. I'm really hoping Johnson's still in this thing on the restart. Because if he is, we're definitely swapping to him, but I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. He's still got the red X on him. Well, we're going to pit with Vickers. And we got several other drivers pitting. We are back on the lead lap. We'll top off on fuel. We'll take 4 fresh Goodyears. Final stop of the day. Need to go find the horseshoe you lost. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, how does that happen? I mean, what a catastrophic finish to this season. We're going to be over 300 points back with 6 races to go. There's no chance we're going to catch up. We're going to be over 2 races out. I don't even think we're going to make it to the last race of the year with a chance at the championship. Kyle Busch might actually have a better chance at the championship than us, actually.
We are deep in the field. Be careful and start working.
Oh, man. I don't know how many cars are on the lead lap after all that. Not many. Still. Only 10 cars on the lead lap. Vickers the last of which. Green flag back in the air. I'm going to race this Vickers to the finish, and the only reason is because he hasn't won a race yet this season, so we'll try to get him a win. And obviously, because Jimmy Johnson's out, about to turn myself, try to get back down to the bottom. Had 4 cautions here today in Texas. I mean, it's 2 races in a row that we've gotten past halfway. Everything's looking good. Like we should finish in the top 5 at the very least, and then shit hits the fan real quick. I was trying not to hit the apron. That was not good. I was trying not to hit the apron, and then I overcorrected right into the guy above me. Yeah, Johnson's out. He is out. They're running second like the whole race. And he just blows up. I thought it was weird he pitted again because he pitted before before the caution came out. And now Vickers is way behind. Whoever got the free pass is at the tail end of the pack, so there are 11 cars on the lead lap still. Vickers 5.5 seconds off the lead with about 45 to go. Hope him try to win and beat Tony in points. I'll worry about it at a later date. I don't even think Tony Stewart's on the lead lap either. Tony Stewart might be out of the race. Who knows? I have zero clue. I saw Matt Kenseth blow an engine earlier. So I know Johnson at least beat him. You know, I thought that caution with Busch was bad just because it would have trapped Jimmy a lap down. This is way worse than getting trapped a lap down because there's so many cars a lap down, still could have finished like 12. Instead, you're going to end up with a DNF and finish well outside the top 30 again. And we were looking to have such a fun points battle like 3 races ago with Stewart. We were 44 back 3 races ago, and in 3 races we're going to go from 44 out of first to like over 300. I mean, Vickers does have fresher tires, along with the 3 or 4 other cars that pitted. Now, Busch did not pit during the caution, so he does have a little bit older tires than some of the other cars on the lead lap. This race is far from over. $40 laps to go. Not gonna lie, this 57 car feels a lot smoother than mine even. With Johnson. Oh boy. Well, they're nearly wrecking again up there. Just adds to the wildness of this one.
The 120 car, outside. 41, you still there?
Pass somewhere in there was for position. I think it was on Biffle, who might have gotten the free pass during the last caution. Yeah, this car really rolls the corner a lot better than Johnson's. Johnson's car equally as fast, if not faster. Not as well as Nashville, this is true. Just ran a fastest lap of the race, faster than any lap Johnson's ran so far today. 29.429. Danny Oakland Jr. going up the hill now. Vickers going to drive underneath and clear. Denny Hamlin squeezing Brian Vickers.
The 20 car is making his move. Low side.
Definitely going to need a day off tomorrow night from this game, the way we've had just the worst luck 3 days in a row. Oh, car in the wall, Boris said. Look out, off the exit of the corner. I think he got clobbered, too. I was really hoping my car wasn't going to go up there. I really didn't have any say in it. No caution yet, though. We stay green still. Yeah, we can't have 5 overtimes like in Nashville in this race, considering that we only get 1 attempt at a green-white checker in this game.
The 192 car is looking to pass.
And 63 up the track, and he gets into the wall.
All clear. The 29 car is about 4-second margin between you and the leader.
Vickers powering past Kurt Busch for position. Yaley was not a spot there. Yaley a lap down, so Vickers now up to 9th. 32 laps to go this time by. Wouldn't be much of a street course where I live. Nothing here.
Alright, interval between you and the leader is 4.5.
About 3.5 seconds off the lead still. Big run. Brian Vickers gonna ship it into turn 3, try to take it 3 wide. Forced his way by Ryan Newman up into the wall. That did not work whatsoever.
The 138 car, down low.
Newman and Busch might have made contact. Kurt Busch, that is, back there off turn 4 as well. That was not smooth. Probably should have waited an extra corner. Had the run. I took it. Hole wasn't open yet. .29 to go. Now we're back to 4.6 seconds off the lead again. So this car's fast, but you'd have to imagine Busch has similar speed being on the same team. But again, we have a tire advantage. It's just taking so long to get through this traffic. And there's still quite a few cars between us and Busch yet. If you look at the track map. It's starting to get more and more evenly spaced out. I don't even know that I want a caution. If we end up getting a caution, all the lap cars are going to be underneath us, which means we're really going to have more cars to pass eventually anyway. And if Busch gets the clean air right away on the restart, he's going to just set sail, because it looks like there's really nobody near him right now. And of the 3 or 4 cars, well, me and 3 others, so the 4 cars that hit pit road during the last caution, what do I mean by that? What, by nothing near me? There's nothing near me. Out in the middle of nowhere. Just A Street. Be more of a drag strip than anything. Jeff Burton not even on the lead lap. You know Kenny Wallace is on the lead lap just up ahead, because he was one of the cars that hit pit road. 24 to go. 4 seconds off the lead. In about 7 laps, I've gained 0.6 of a second. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. If we didn't pit for tires, I don't think it'd even be possible, honestly. About a 1/10 or 2 quicker than Busch that last lap. Ace is definitely going to have to quicken. Three and a half seconds off the lead. Mayfield a lap down.
Alright, interval between you and the leader is 4.5. Number 8, the fire hot. Still hanging on.
By Dale Jr. for position and Kenny Wallace for a spot. Vickers is up to 7th. You know, it might actually be disappointing if this ends up being a 1-2 finish for Hendrick Sports and Jimmy Johnson is the lone car out. Oh, man. I'm really just hoping and praying Tony Stewart's out of this race, too. I haven't seen him in forever. I mean, at least that would keep us in it still, but at the very least. Maybe back-to-back DNFs for him, too. We just can't capitalize on either one. Just would have finished the race. Top 10, we'd be the points leader, both of them. If Stewart was out in this race, which, again, we don't know for sure. At the very least, if he is in front of us on the lead lap, we can pass him for position, hopefully. Moving it Move him another spot back. Busch is a lot further out ahead than that, though. I don't know, 18 laps to go. 3.1 seconds off the lead still. Time's good still in this race after a wreck from earlier. Truex up the track, up into the wall. It's a spot for Vickers, now up to 6th. Only gained a 1/10 of a second that last lap on Busch. Halfway through the fuel run. I don't know that the draft's going to get us closer. I just need to pass him. Got a little loose off turn 4 and lost some ground. I can't get up off the exit of the corner fast enough to get underneath him. I'd be careful clipping that apron. Starting to overdrive it now. That pass needed to be a little cleaner. Got it done nevertheless. Vickers into the top 5 to 5th. This car's too loose. God bless America. Here we go. I mean, that killed any chance I had of trying to catch anybody else the rest of this race. Oh, hang on. We got a caution. We ain't done yet. A lucky break with a yellow for Brian Vickers. Somebody else wrecked. The 120 got up on his side. Boris said slammed into him off turn 4. Hard wreck. It looked like a single car incident. He must have just got loose and it said hit him. He goes to the grass. Caution's out. And never mind, this race is not over, ladies and gentlemen. We are not done at Texas Motor Speedway yet. And Stewart's in second. And he hasn't led a lap the entire race. Oh, great. Green flag back in the air. 8 laps to go. Not a great restart for Brian Vickers through the restart zone. Dale Jr. going to get by. It's another spot Vickers is going to have to get back. Going to really need those 4 up at the front of the field to race it out hard, and Vickers is going to want to have a chance to catch up in the closing laps and win this race. 1.1 seconds off the lead. These tires are just, I mean, they're getting so worn out. I will say, car handled better in the short run with Brian Vickers. The long run, definitely better with Jimmy Johnson earlier. Busch still leads. I think Stewart is still in second. It's tight in the middle of the corner and loose on exit. Five to go this time by. Laps are going down quickly. I swear, Tony Stewart, I don't even want him to lead a lap. But somebody almost got underneath Kyle Busch that time. I think Dale Jr. just holding me up a little. Just can't get by him. Busch on the outside, Stewart to the lead. For the first time today, Tony Stewart leads with 4 laps to go. Busch back to third. You've got to be kidding me. Dale Jr.'s just holding me up. I'm not quick enough to get around him. Not yet, at least. Ready to go this time by. Somebody get by Stewart, please. This car's way too loose for Brian Vickers. Lost a lot of ground off. Oh, caution's out again. Caution is out again. With 3 to go. Is that another wreck? Debris? It's like debris. Is that going to end the race under yellow? He gets to the lead for 1 lap and then a caution comes out and it might end the race. I mean, how does this happen? I'm hoping we get a green-white checker. It's not guaranteed though. Busch is in third. Third or fourth? Actually, it looks like Busch is in fourth. We're in 6th. Green flag in the air. Final lap. Vickers not going to take off. Well, we're going to transfer to Kyle Busch when we get going on this restart. Man, it really spun the tires bad there. Oh, it won't let me. I tried to swap. It's not letting me swap to him. You can't swap on the last lap? Oh, poor Vickers. I tried to swap on the last lap and it wouldn't let me. I didn't know you couldn't do that. Wow, Tony Stewart wins. That was a double whammy to everything that happened to me in this race. Tony Stewart somehow wins, and he only led 4 laps. And only 2 under green. I like how all that work we did with Vickers to get him up to where he was running. Got a second chance on the late yellow. That last one hurt us the most, and then tried to swap on the last lap, and it's too late. This race blows, man. Look at that, 4 laps led. Kept him from leading a lap the whole race. And he still wins it. Gets the Texas sweep. 3rd win of the season for Stewart. Martin led 109 laps, finished 4th. Kyle Busch led 62, finished 3rd. 2nd place finish, of course, for Elliott Sadler. Dale Jr. 5th, Kenny Walls 6th, Hans Good 7th, Martin Truex Jr. 8th, Kevin Harvick 9th. Tracy Johnson rounded out the top 10. Vickers led 1 lap at some point today. Probably during green flag pit stops, but he led 1. 3rd and 5th, finished 11th. Johnson finished 41st. Blew an engine with 68 laps to go, which was exactly when he pitted. He pitted the first lap. I swapped with him, and then he never came back. I didn't think it was because of an engine failure, though. We were all at the edge of the pit window. I thought that maybe he pitted and led 13. Felt like I led more than that, but I didn't. Yeah, I saw Kenseth blow an engine. Apparently Aaron Crocker blew an engine too. Danny O'Quinn Jr. blew an engine late. Only 4 cars DNF'd 2 hours, 8 minutes, 5 seconds total time of the race, 140.51 mile per hour average race speed, 30 lead changes, 6 cautions, and a 1/10 of a second margin of victory on that last lap green-white checker. I'm disappointed how this race went. I mean, why did we have to blow an engine? Oh my gosh. And then Stewart wins. Are we 400 points back? We might be 400 back with 5 races to go. I really think Kyle Busch has a better chance at the championship than us. I'm gonna give it my all still, but we're gonna need 2 DNFs at least out of Stewart. 388. We lost 140 points. He's going to have to DNF twice. If he doesn't DNF, he's going to have to find a way to finish outside the top 30 twice. At least, and then we still have to just go on a heater to the finish. 6 races to go. Kyle Busch 287 back. He even lost points because Stewart won still, and Busch finished 3rd. It's Tony Stewart's championship to lose at this point. We're still going to run the season out. Hope for the best. At least until we're mathematically eliminated. If we get down to the final race and we don't even have a shot at the championship, Kyle Busch doesn't have a shot at the championship, then we won't race it. But that's disappointing. I mean, honestly, just the glitch DNF at Dover and the glitch DNF at Talladega alone is 2 races. We'd be about 88 back. Just those 2 glitches alone. It wouldn't be as hard to swallow. But, yeah, 3 straight DNFs is absolutely insane. Help Busch win the title now? I'm still going to stay in it because I'm only 100 points behind Busch. Like, we can outrace him. So I still want to put myself in position in case Tony Stewart does DNF. I mean, he blew an engine at Dega, but the game didn't give it to him with my DNF for some reason. I DNF'd in a randomized finishing order. Where it shouldn't have, and we still should have technically beat him there. So, I mean, so he's got 1 DNF, but can he DNF twice now? Hey, can we finish the freaking race? Can we finish a race? That's 3 in a row we haven't finished. I mean, it's insane. It's starting to turn into some NASCAR Thunder 2004 first season career mode stuff now. Like, this is what it's turning into. Win the title with Busch, maybe if you get lucky. Well, I mean, just think about it. Busch will be in the best situation if Stewart's going to have to DNF twice even for Busch to have a chance. At least once. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. But, I mean, if Tony Stewart DNFs once, I'll consider it. But if he doesn't even... I got to race with Johnson just in case he does it twice. But if he does it once, I'll consider it at least. All you got to do is go into Daytona with at least a chance. You never know what could happen, even though I'm not good on the super speedways on this game. Well, that's going to end it. Have a good rest of your night. We'll be back Friday. Watkins Glen. That'll be another wild one. Finished 2nd there earlier this season. Matt Kenseth won the first race at Watkins Glen on the year. It'll be our 2nd. We're going to need a lot of help to win this championship, but you just never know what could happen. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. See you Friday.